In this video, we're talking about how to find the perimeter and area of algebra tiles. So just a reminder to start. So perimeter is the distance around any shape. Okay, so for perimeter, we're going to be finding the length around the outside. Remember, we do not include these lengths in here because it's not around the outside. We only care about the blue outline. Okay, and then area is the area inside of the shape. And remember, when we name these tiles, we already found the area of them. Like with the X tile, we had X on this side, and then we had 1 on this side. And area is base times height. So X times 1 gave us X, so that was the area of that shape. X squared, we had X by X, and so X times X is X squared, so that was the area, and then same thing with the other two. So remember, when you're finding area, you're just adding up the names of the tiles. Alright, so let's write that down. So the area is just the names. Of the tiles. Okay, so let's start with the area because that one's a little bit easier. Okay, so again, it's just the names of the tiles. So I have an X tile, I have an X squared tile, I have an X tile, and then I have a unit, which is just 1, so put +1. And then remember, when you're finding the area or perimeter or anything with variables and numbers, you want to try to combine like terms as much as possible. So these are both x's. They're both 1x because there's an invisible 1 in front. So why don't I combine those together? So I have 2 x's. And then I'm going to put the x squared first because I like to put them in biggest to smallest. So there's 1 x squared tile, 2 x tiles, and then there's 1 unit at the end. And then that would be our area. Again, I just added up the names of the tiles. All right, let's do perimeter now. So perimeter is the distance around the outside. So perimeter. So for this one, let's label the edges of each shape. So I know that the X tile is X on the long side and 1 on the short side. The X squared tile is X all the way around. So the X is 1 on the short part, a little unit. And then the problem is this length right here, because it's not, because the whole thing would be X if I was going all the way. So if I'm looking at the green one, that length is X. But we only want the blue length right here. We don't want this little section. We want that cut off. So if we think about it, if the whole length is X, but we're removing out this 1 right here, I'm going to put X minus 1 because I'm taking that whole length and then I'm subtracting out that 1 that we don't want. Okay, so that's how I figure out kind of that awkward length right there. And then for perimeter, I'm just going to add all the numbers on the outside. So let me delete these distracting inside numbers. Okay, so again, I'm going to add everything around the outside. So let me write them all out. So I'll start up here. So I have X plus 1 plus, actually, put little check marks. Okay, X plus 1 plus X plus 1. And then here I put plus X minus 1. And then plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that's plus 4. And then plus X. And then plus 1. Okay, so I have all my terms. And now I want to combine like terms just like we did for area. So let me look at the x's. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 x's. And then for the units, I have 1, 2. I'll start at the positive. So there's 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. Okay, so there's 7 positive units. And then I have the negative 1 hanging out over here. Okay. So what's 7 minus 1? Well, that's 6. So my final perimeter would be 4x plus 6. So even though this was a negative 1, we're still going to combine it just like we would the other units. Okay, so reminder, area is the name of the tiles, and then perimeter is going to be the distance around the outside.